Oh no. It kind of means the whole shell of this thing's rotten. It means I've bought an absolute lemon. I always knew there was going to be some big challenges that tested me, but I did not expect them to happen this early.
Hi everyone, welcome to building our ultimate lap of Australia vehicle.
Okay, we're back. Next episode. I know it looks like the end of the last one. That's because it is. But I think I've come up with a bit of a plan on how we're going to tackle this rotted wood. The experience from building those 4-runner drawers out of aluminium T-slot is going to come in handy. I think what we're going to be able to do is just like replicate the structural part of the wood with aluminium, probably not even all of them, and essentially create a new frame. We won't make a new fiberglass, but we'll create a new frame out of aluminium for most of it. I don't know how we'll do the curve. That's probably going to be the only part that I don't know about. We probably will lose a little bit of headspace because I might not be able to get it as flush as this, and maybe a little bit of wall space because I think we'll have to come out from the wall. So we're going to lose about that much wall space on each side. But I guess the end result is going to be a really strong cabin. Like, it'll be way stronger than before because this wood sort of flexes and bends and all that sort of stuff, whereas the aluminium T-slot is going to be super solid. It's going to be a lot more expensive. It's probably like another, geez, I don't know, maybe a couple grand of aluminium to build it out. Yeah, we'll see. That's my rough plan for what we do with that. I've still got to continue ripping everything out.
So we like a challenge, and by we I mean all of us.
Yeah, but Amy's calmness and positive attitude always keeps me through it. Saves me from
I would like walk in
spiral.
like, no!
Yeah, no, the wood's rotted. Once I take these out, I probably can't really drive it more because then I'm taking away a lot of the structural integrity of the vehicle. So this is probably where it's going to sit until I get a new frame built. Oh, maybe we don't have to redo the front part. Yeah, there'll be no weight on the front. The front I don't think is rotten. There's a little corner over there that might be, but as long as we get rid of that. New plan of attack. Alright, well, there's our first hurdle and a plan to overcome it. If anyone out there on YouTube has any tips on what a normal caravan rebuilder would do in this sort of situation, if they'll just completely write it off, well, if you completely write it off, don't tell me, because we're not going to do that. But if my plan's good, tell me that's good. And if you have a better plan, tell me really quickly. Okay, so after that rough discovery yesterday with some of the rotting roof cross members, I'm not as stressed about it today because I think we've come up with a plan that will basically reinforce the whole thing, gives me something to bolt to. We'll use aluminium T-frame, maybe. It's not the final plan, but it's a maybe plan. But instead of trying to learn how to CAD and design things all by myself and waste another month learning a new skill, I've decided to outsource the rough design of the van to Ham.
Yay,
Yay, go Ham. No, just joking. I've used my friend Marcel over at Salty Van Ventures. He also runs the Van Build Academy. So I've enlisted his help to help me design the inside of our interior, and we can then make a few tweaks like that, but it'll help us visualize what we're going to deal with. And this is the grand reveal.
So, the first concept, so there's not much detail in there, it's just more to get everything in the right spot. You've got the shower with this little angled door here, sink and your cooker here, heap of bench space.
I'm so glad I'm not doing this myself. It looks confusing and hard, but it looks awesome. Okay, it's a nice visual. I don't mind the angles. Okay, well, that's exciting. He's done a very good job, hasn't he, Amy?
Yes, it's exciting seeing it all actually laid out like that. I mean, it's less daunting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still a big job, but it's nice to have a bit of a reality check after the stressful day yesterday. So once I can work out how the framing is going to be, there's a few little tweaks and stuff we can make, a bit of wasted space. We probably need to think about storage of a few extra things. Okay, thank you, Marcel. Well, be in touch as the project progresses. And yep, make sure to check him out on YouTube, Salty Van Ventures, and check out his Van Build Academy. I'll chuck the link here. See you soon. Okay, so up here in the cabin area, the sleeping cabin area, just trying to see how bad this wood rot is. It's actually not too bad. I've removed pretty much all of it now, and it's just a tiny little bit. So we'll keep going at that, and then realistically, we're going to be spraying over this with Cork-On, which is anti-mold, antimicrobial, moisture, whatever. And I think that should act as a good enough seal to essentially make all this area safe haven back up here.
Day 5.
working on our Ultimate Lap of Australia rig. Today we're feeling a little bit better. We got our plans for what the inside is going to look like. Well, our first draft of the plans. We'll show you that one in a minute. And I think I've worked out a rough plan on how we're going to solve the big issue we discovered yesterday. Hammy is on it. Alright, so to help me build everything, I've decided to spend a bit of money and get myself a proper toolbox. And it's just arrived now. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. Put your hands over your eyes, right this way, walk forward, no, okay, open your eyes.
Whoa.
Look at my toolbox. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a real man now. I've got a real man toolbox. I've never had a proper like toolbox shitty thing in my life. We've got all the stuff I'm gonna use for the aluminium construction. Got all my power tools down here, Azedo, no hate. Great for DIY projects, baby. Cheapest thing you can get. And yep, I think we're now ready to work on the Camroad. Well, we've kind of been doing that already, but you know. Okay, hey, baby, come back. You gonna help me clean it tomorrow?
I'm going to the office tomorrow.
Oh, lucky you. Okay, so this is probably our last dump run ever. Hey, how are you? I've just got an old pallet and an old toilet. Thank you. And we're at 2.2 tons. Wowee. This is probably the lightest the camper van's ever gonna look. 2.2 tons, which is lighter than most other four-wheel drives and stuff, so that's pretty cool. I spoke too soon. That was on our way into the tip. Now we're on our way out of the tip. Let's see what our final weight is. We are at 2.18. 2.18. I think 2.78 was the starting weight, so we've lost 600 kilograms. That's a lot of me's. That's like 5 of me. Anyways, yay! She's had a good little diet and now we gotta bulk her up. Okay, so I just came down and saw the legends at the caravan repair company in Burleigh for a bit of advice. I was more than willing to pay him to let me know I was on the right track. Awesome guy, Corey. Hit these guys up if you need any help with anything. He came and had a look at everything. Basically said, yep, I'm on the right track if I want to add a bit of framing to it. That's the most important part as far as what we're fixing inside. He said the floor looks pretty good, and look, to be honest, I think I'm going to keep the floor. So yeah, I'm feeling a lot better about everything now. Thanks to these guys. Okay, so now that we've got the plan of what this thing's going to look at, keeping in mind it is just the first draft, it's time to tape it out in here and see how it actually feels besides how it actually looks, because that'll really give us a sense of how much space is in here. Is it too cramped? Have we got room to play with and all that? So let's get taping. So this is it. This is our rough floor plan. Decent bit of space, but already a few, I don't know, questions that I think we'll have to update. Like the couch on this wall is probably a little bit too narrow as far as being able to add a back to it. You'd only really be able to have it as a bit of a chase lounge. The other thing I've realized is our kitchen sort of bench area going here to here is all about 500mm deep, but a standard kitchen's 600. So if we're looking at using IKEA pre-made cabinetry, that will have to come out another 10 centimeters, which does kind of cut out a little bit of space. It's not the end of the world, but just another thing to think about. And the bathroom, we've kind of wanted to do this like corner angle door shower just to keep this area a bit more open, but it does leave the shower as a, I don't know, pretty small area. So I'm not sure. It's almost like, what's the point in having this little nook here? Is it worth just making the bathroom bigger and this area bigger? Yeah, I don't know. I'll obviously have to get Amy in. I might get some camp chairs in here just to like really sort of vibe it out. And then we've got our first draft from Marcel from Salty Van Ventures / Van Build Academy. We can send him our feedback and see what some of our other ideas look like and go from there. Woohoo! Okay, let's show Amy the rough inside plan.
lounge. Oh, lounge all the way up to here. It's L-shaped. So much better. And you've got like all this room here. Very nice.
Okay, so yep, that's the inside. I do think this couch area, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit narrow that way, but in a way maybe that means that like that part of the couch is where we sit like this for work, and then that side of the couch is where we kind of like stretch out a bit. So that bit would be a bit more vertical for eating and working, and then that bit would be a bit more reclined for chilling out. And then we got to keep in mind there'll be a table kind of here, which does cut out a bit of space, but I'm almost thinking like we kind of have maybe an L-shaped table or a triangle-shaped table so that you can still like walk past it. Thoughts?
I like the curve.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It would be nice to have like a table that kind of like tucks away.
Yeah.
Just make it flat, and then you can bring the table up.
Yeah.
So when it's not in use, it's like this, and when it's in use, it's like this.
But when it's not in use, that height will
No,
mean
no,
you
because
can't.
you can tuck it down. You bring it up.
Okay, Amy's in charge of building this table, this magic table.
I have this table in mind.
Okay, Amy's in charge of the
I'll
table.
get back to you.
Alright, see you next episode then, where you get this inside insulated. Okay, that's a wrap on episode 2. Didn't quite get as much done this week. I had to end up fixing a bunch of things on the 4Runner as well. We gave the Camroad a full service, but I didn't record any of that because that's sort of not the scope of what this channel is going to be. This channel is going to be on the renovation of the inside and outside. But yeah, we've got a big hit ahead of us next week where we're going to really prep this area for the insulation. I'll let you guys know what insulation we've decided to go with, which is a really exciting product. I'm super stoked to be using that, and hopefully next week get the insulation on and also get a start on the exterior side of things. All right, see you then.